Happy 2022, you lovely lot. If you haven't already seen my 2021 wrap-up video, then you might want to go and watch it. It is longer than I had planned. That was half an hour of me waffling to the camera, but I did make quite a lot of notes, and there are a few things I wanted to mention and quite a few people that I wanted to do a shout out to. So if you haven't seen that, please go check that out when you've got half an hour spare. Anyway, this video is about my plans for 2022. I've had lots of ideas, and I'm hoping COVID doesn't put a scupper on a lot of them, because some of these are overflows from previous last 2 years, 18 months, where I wanted to do these things and for whatever reason haven't been able to. Mainly COVID. So the big thing I would really like to achieve is a week in Scotland, and I will probably be doing it around the Easter time. I've spoken to the families of the kids I look after, and said, would it be better for you term time or holiday time? So I'm going to go with their preference or majority preference on that. And I'm going to try and head up the west coast, first of all, of Scotland. I've had a little chat with Trev from Posh Cats Camp, and he's given me a few ideas. I've had a few chats with Lindsay from Desmond's Donders. So I'm going to have a few ideas, but if anyone's got any ideas of places along that west coast, then that would be helpful for my planning. I'm going to do wild camps, and then maybe every 2 stops, so a couple of nights while I'm away, do a campsite, and then I can have a shower, I can freshen up, I can empty the toilet, that kind of stuff. So it'll be a mix of campsite and wild camp. I'd like to do more adventures in Wales, preferably with Imo. So I would like to go to Anglesey. I might not do that with Imo, but I would like to go to Anglesey at some point. But I would also like to do more of our walks and fun things that I've done with Imo in the past. And if you want to see any of these sort of van related videos of things I've done in the past, then check out the Vanlife playlist on my channel. But I would very much, I've sent Imo a photo of something I would like us to do together, which would be a giggle, a lot of fun, and unusual. That's all I'm going to say on it. And she seemed keen, but it's going to be some logistics because it's not South Wales, so it means that she's going to have to travel, and we'll probably end up, even though I've got Spog, we'll probably end up booking a Premier Inn or something like that, and having to stay overnight somewhere to do this. But I think it's worth doing, so I'm hoping that she's keen, or as keen as I am. My sister Jackie and I, we have been trying to do the Thames Walk. Now, back in the early days of my vlogging, 3 years ago now, we did the Ridgeway in sections, 10 to 12 sections I think we did. And there is a playlist of the Ridgeway walks in my channel, in the playlist section. When I looked back at them, they're great for memory, but there's a lot of wind noise in some of them. And the camera I used was not as good as the phone camera that I have now. I'm not big on my equipment, as you know. I use my camera for everything. But the camera I use now is on a much better phone. So it's not as good quality as the stuff I have now. And, you know, my stuff I have now is not top quality, but it's not bad, I don't think. So if you're interested in the Ridgeway Walk we did, where we have a lot of giggles, then check out the Ridgeway playlist. But we will be doing the Thames Walk. Hopefully we will do it on a Friday once a month for the next 12 months, but we might have to shove in a few more, because that only gives us 12 walks and it's 180 miles. So I think we're going to have to break it down into more than 12 walks. I'd like to go to Arendelle, which is somewhere I had planned to go, but again, COVID got in the way. And it was somewhere that you guys on my Facebook, Worm's Eye View Vanlife page or group on Facebook, voted for me to go to, which I was secretly really pleased about, because it was a place I really wanted to go to. And unfortunately, COVID got in the way, and various things meant that I didn't end up going. So that is on my list of places to visit. More gaming nights with Tink. Yeah, so Sharon and Tink have kindly said I can stay back at the pub car park with them. And that means that I can do some more gaming nights with Tink and his friends, which is brilliant because I don't have many people here who play board games with me. Occasionally I get a board games night with my sisters, but it's nice to have a different group of people to play with. And they were also very, very welcoming when I went to play with them a couple of months ago. So I've got another one of those penciled in. More long weekend adventures with Daryl and Keith. I have messaged Daryl about this and said it would be really, really nice if we could put in some set dates where we do some like Friday to Monday, further afield adventures, sort of more north. And that takes me to places I'd like to go. So I'd like to go to, where was it? Barrow-in-Furness, which is where they've been and said that I would really like. So I'd like to go kind of that way and have some more long weekends with them. I'd like to go to Suffolk more, that Suffolk area. I'd like to see the seals again. Maybe do a boat trip. So I've got various ideas of things I'd like to do on the Suffolk coast and more of the east coast in general, because I tend to go more west, being more on the west side. I'd like to do the Wye Valley, which is on the west side, sort of Ross on Wye and the sort of Wye Valley area on the edge of Wales. So I'd like to do that. I'd like to continue learning my Welsh, which I'm feeling very pleased with myself about, and eventually be able to hold a conversation rather than just have random sentences in my head. I'd like to do more of the local walks, maybe like I did yesterday on the New Year's Eve walk that I did, where I can walk from my home, head out somewhere, and then Lee picks me up. Because then I don't have to think about turning around and coming back or finding circular walks. I'd just like to walk and walk and walk until I can't walk any further and get Lee to pick me up. We have Lee's Batmobile Trip, which I will hopefully be videoing. Really hope I can be videoing it. We can go and watch it. It was a Christmas present I got him where he gets to drive for 3 miles around a track in a 66 Batmobile. And then he gets a high-speed trip around the track. So I'm really looking forward to that, as is he. Lee and I would like to go to Vindolanda, which is the Roman auxiliary fort, which is just south of Hadrian's Wall, as something we were going to do back in August, but due to COVID, that stopped. But we would like to go up to Hadrian's Wall, stay in an Airbnb or something, and go and do that. Because Roman stuff interests both of us. And then personally, I'd like to have more of my me time, you know, my Zen time down here, just with my chill out stuff, my runes, my herby nonsense. I'd like to film more of that. And the balms, you know, that first lot of oil that I've made will be ready in a couple of weeks. So my first balms will be made. Yeah, maybe make some candles, definitely dry herbs, and start making some of my own incense maybe. Just follow more of that path, grow more herbs myself. Read more books. I'd like to get through my huge book pile that I have. And try not to buy too many new ones because I have an awful lot I need to get through. Mainly because my mum read so many through lockdown and she's given me so many books. So I need to get through my mum's pile of books is what I'm really saying. And I think she has more waiting for me. Yeah, I think that's my list pretty much complete. I'm sure there'll be a lot more things that I want to do. But this was just a video of me putting together some things that I would like to focus on organising and getting in the diary for 2022. as well as many spog trips as possible that I can fit in, because that is my total chill out reset button for me, is my spog time. So what are you thinking? What things have you got planned for 2022? Have you got any huge adventures planned? Is it just to get through the year and hope it's a healthy, not too stressful year like the last two have been? Obviously, I'd like to see an end to this pandemic, and I'm hoping with this new strain, the Omicron strain, that we are coming to the end now, that this will be the turning point for us. But that goes without saying, because I think we all want an end to this particular situation. But personally, you know, for yourselves and your interests and your hobbies and your personal self-care and what have you got anything in particular that you'd like to aim for this year? Personal growth or just interests? I don't know. I'd be interested to hear about them. So please do share them in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting me over the last however many years I've been doing this, but definitely over the last year. Thank you to all the new subscribers I got this year. And if anyone's interested in sharing my channel, I only need 10 more subscribers to get to my 5,000 subscriber mark. Just putting that out there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.